Hello guys, I am Huda Khan with Karam. Today we will tell and show you the 10 Middle East countries with many women due to lack of men. If you are a new honorable one on our channel, please subscribe our channel, press the bell icon and notification all for this act of kindness. We will appreciate and say thank you. The high rate of single women in the Middle East is also due to the fact that many women are not able to marry who they want. In many countries, marriages are arranged by families, and women often do not have a say in who they marry. This can lead to forced marriages, or marriages to men much older than the woman. Additionally, women in the Middle East often do not have the same rights as men, and may not be able to divorce their husbands or leave an abusive marriage. This leaves many women trapped in unhappy marriages, and contributes to the high number of single women in the region. The situation for single women in the Middle East is improving, however, as more and more women are educated and enlightened about their rights. In some countries, such as Kuwait and Qatar, women now have equal rights to men. This means that they can choose who they marry, and are more likely to have successful and happy marriages. Additionally, more women are choosing to delay marriage, or to remain single, in order to focus on their careers. This is particularly common in the more developed countries of the Middle East. As the situation for women in the Middle East continues to improve, the number of single women is likely to increase. This will have a positive impact on the region, as more women will be able to choose their own husbands, and will be more likely to be in happy and successful marriages. Number 1. United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates has one of the world's highest percentages of single women. Data from the UAE's National Bureau of Statistics show that almost 65% of Emirati women aged 18-29 are unmarried. This is a significant increase from previous generations, where the majority of women were married by the time they turned 25. There are a number of reasons for this trend. One is that Emirati women are now better educated than ever before. In the past, most women did not attend university, and instead got married young. Now, many women pursue higher education and delay marriage until they have established their careers. Another reason for the high percentage of single women in the UAE is that many men are not able to afford marriage. The cost of a wedding in the UAE can be quite high, and many men cannot afford to pay for one. This leaves a large number of women without a partner. Number 2. Kuwait. It is no secret that Kuwait has a high percentage of single women. In fact, the latest statistics show that nearly 60% of the female population in Kuwait is unmarried. This is a significant increase from just a few years ago, when the percentage was closer to 50%. There are a number of factors that have contributed to this increase, but the most notable is the change in social attitudes towards marriage and family. In the past, Kuwaiti women were under a lot of pressure to get married and start a family. This was especially true for those who came from families with traditional values. However, times have changed and now more and more women are choosing to delay marriage or forego it altogether. This is due in part to the growing independence of women in Kuwait. They are no longer content to passively wait for a man to propose marriage. Instead, they are taking control of their own lives and pursuing their own careers and ambitions. Of course, there are also a number of economic factors that have played a role in the increase of single women in Kuwait. For example, the high cost of living and the competitive job market make it difficult for young couples to establish themselves financially. This is one of the reasons why many Kuwaiti women are choosing to focus on their education and career instead of getting married and starting a family. The trend of Kuwaiti women delaying marriage or choosing to remain single is having a significant impact on society. In the past, Families were the primary social unit and marriage was the cornerstone of Kuwaiti society. However, this is no longer the case. As more and more women remain single, traditional family structures are beginning to break down. This is leading to changes in the way Kuwaiti society functions, with implications that are not yet fully understood. The increase in the number of single women in Kuwait is sure to have a profound impact on the country in the years to come. It will be interesting to see how the rising generation of Kuwaiti women shapes the country in the years ahead. There are many single women in Kuwait, and while this may be due to Kuwait's high divorce rate, it is also because many women are choosing to remain single. This is because they are finding that they can have successful careers and lives without being married. In fact, many of these women are finding that they are more fulfilled and happier without being in a relationship. Number 3. Qatar. A recent study found that Qatar has the highest percentage of single women in the world. Qatar is a small country located in the Middle East. The study found that 60% of women in Qatar are single. There are many reasons why Qatar has such a high percentage of single women. One reason is that Qatar has a large population of expatriate workers. Many of these workers are men who are married and have left their families back home. This leaves a large number of women without husbands. Another reason is that Qatar is a Muslim country and women have fewer rights than men. This can make it difficult for women to find husbands. In addition, Qatar is a very wealthy country and women do not have to rely on men for financial support. The high percentage of single women in Qatar can be both a good and a bad thing. On the one hand, it gives women more independence and freedom. On the other hand, it can make it difficult for women to find companionship and form lasting relationships. Number 4. Saudi Arabia. There are many single women in Saudi Arabia. This is due to a number of factors, including the high divorce rate in the country and the fact that women are not allowed to marry until they are 18 years old. Many of these women are forced to marry older men who are already married, which leaves them without the opportunity to find a husband of their own. In addition, Saudi Arabia has a very high rate of polygamy. While the official number of wives a man can have is 4, it is not uncommon for men to have more than one wife. This leaves many women without the chance to get married, as they are competing with other wives for their husband's attention. The Saudi government has recently enacted a number of reforms that are aimed at helping women find husbands. These include opening up more jobs for women and increasing the age at which women can marry. However, it is unclear whether these reforms will be enough to help the large number of single women in Saudi Arabia. Although Saudi Arabia has many single women, they are not allowed the same freedoms as men. They must be accompanied by a male guardian at all times and are not allowed to travel or work without permission. Marriage is the only way for a woman to gain some measure of independence, but even then her husband has ultimate control over her. Saudi Arabia is a country that severely limits the rights of women and it is something that needs to change. Number 5. Bahrain. In Bahrain, single women outnumber men by nearly 2 to 1 in a population of just over 1.3 million, and the number of single women is rising. There are many reasons for the imbalance, including the fact that Bahraini men tend to marry foreign women, while Bahraini women are more likely to marry Bahraini men from other Gulf countries. The number of single women in Bahrain is a source of both anxiety and opportunity. On the one hand, Single women are often seen as a problem to be solved, as they are more likely to be poor and to have children out of wedlock. On the other hand, single women are also seen as an opportunity for economic development, as they are more likely to start their own businesses and to participate in the workforce. The government of Bahrain has responded to the increase in single women by establishing a number of initiatives to help them, including a single women's unit in the Ministry of Social Development and a single women's business council. The single women of Bahrain are a diverse group, coming from all walks of life. But they all share one thing in common: the determination to make the best of their situation and to create a Bahrain with many single women. Number 6. Oman. In Oman, there are many single women. This is because Oman is a traditional society where women are not allowed to marry until they are older. In Oman, women can only marry men who are at least 18 years old. This means that there are many Omani women who are in their 20s and 30s who are still single. Omani women who are single often face pressure from their families to marry. This pressure can be very intense, as it is seen as shameful for a woman to be unmarried in Oman. Many women who are single in Oman feel like they have to choose between getting married and disappointing their families, or remaining single and living a life that their families may not approve of. Some Omani women choose to get married even though they are not ready, in order to avoid upsetting their families. However, this can often lead to unhappy marriages, as the women are not truly in love with their husbands. Other Omani women choose to remain single, even though it may mean living a life that is not traditional. There are many Omani women who are single because they have never been in a relationship. This is because Omani culture does not allow for premarital relationships. Many Omani women are only allowed to start dating when they are engaged to be married. This can make it difficult for Omani women to find partners, as they often have to wait until they are older to start dating. Omani women who are single often face pressure from society to get married. Number 7. Jordan. There are a lot of single women in Jordan. Most of them are either divorced or widowed. And many of them are looking for a husband. But it's not always easy to find a good man in Jordan. There are a lot of men who are already married or who are not interested in marriage. And many of the single men who are available are not very good husband material. So, what's a single woman to do? Well, some single women in Jordan have decided to take matters into their own hands. They are using the internet to find a husband. There are a number of websites and online forums where Jordanian women can meet and chat with potential husbands. Some of these websites even offer matchmaking services. Though Jordan boasts many single women, very few of them are looking for a relationship. Most are focused on their careers and education, and don't have time for dating. This makes it hard for men to find a partner in Jordan. Number 8. Lebanon. There are a lot of single women in Jordan. Most of them are either divorced or widowed. And many of them are looking for a husband. But it's not always easy to find a good man in Jordan. There are a lot of men who are already married or who are not interested in marriage. And many of the single men who are available are not very good husband material. So, what's a single woman to do? Well, some single women in Jordan have decided to take matters into their own hands. They are using the internet to find a husband. There are a number of websites and online forums where Jordanian women can meet and chat with potential husbands. Some of these websites even offer matchmaking services. Though Jordan boasts many single women, very few of them are looking for a relationship. Most are focused on their careers and education, and don't have time for dating. This makes it hard for men to find a partner in Jordan. Number 9. Turkey. Turkey has a reputation as a country with many single women. This may be due to the country's high divorce rate, or because women are more likely to be single in Turkey than in other countries. Whatever the reason, there are plenty of single women in Turkey, and they are available to meet men from all over the world. If you are interested in meeting single Turkish women, the best place to start is online. There are many dating websites that cater to Turkish singles, and you can sign up for free to browse the profiles of potential matches. When you find someone you like, you can start chatting and see if there is a connection. Another great way to meet single Turkish women is to go on a group tour. These tours are organized by companies that specialize in meeting the needs of single travelers, and they offer the opportunity to meet a group of like-minded people who are all looking for love. The best thing about going on a group tour is that you can find a tour that suits your interests, whether you want to go on a beach holiday or a city break. If you are serious about meeting a Turkish woman and potentially starting a relationship, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, it is important to be respectful of her culture and traditions. Turkish women are generally quite traditional, and they will expect you to treat them with respect. Secondly, it is important to be patient. Turkish women may not be ready to commit to a relationship right away, and it is important to give them the time they need to make a decision. If you are respectful and patient, you will find that there are many wonderful single Turkish women who are looking for a man like you. Number 10. Syria. Syria, like many other countries in the world, has a large population of single women. According to a recent study, over 60% of the adult population in Syria is single. This is a significant increase from previous years, and it's likely due to the Syrian civil war. The war has displaced millions of Syrians, making it difficult for them to find a partner and start a family. In addition, many men have been killed or injured in the conflict, leaving a larger proportion of women in the population. Despite the challenges, there are some positive aspects to being a single woman in Syria. Women have more freedom and independence than they did in the past, when they were largely dependent on their husband or father. They can now choose their own career, travel and socialize without permission. However, single women also face some difficulties in Syrian society. They are often seen as a burden on their families, and are not always welcomed in social settings. There is a lot of pressure on women to get married, and those who don't are often looked down upon. If you like our hard work, please give us a big thumbs up.